Hi, guys. So, today we're going to be talking about how to stay inspired creatively. I feel like everyone has their own way to stay inspired, and I feel like it's hard to kind of articulate or talk about this topic because I feel like everyone has their own way, and sometimes it's just a feeling. It's not like one thing is keeping you inspired or giving you creativity. Sometimes it's just a feeling you get. Um, it's hard to articulate, hard to describe, but I'm gonna try and do my best to describe to you how I stay inspired creatively. Um, because I feel like as a creative, it's the most important thing to always feed our minds and feed our souls in order to create something interesting or in order to just feel like you're getting educated every day about something interesting and new, whether it's in your industry or not. Um, okay, so I'm gonna start, and this is my own creative journey. I'm just here to maybe give ideas to whoever is starting a project or wants to create something and doesn't really know where to start and get inspiration from. Because as much as I love Pinterest and as much as Pinterest is perfect for a lot of things, I think with originality wise, I don't think it's the perfect place to go because Pinterest is just a place where um, you gather a lot of creative stuff people already did, and it's not essentially something new or something you can take from. Um, but I love Pinterest either ways, and I love going to it to get like maybe outfit inspos, to see the trends, to see what's happening, or to see what already happened, so I can know how to go outside of the box. Okay, so let's start. First of all, books. I love books. Books are for me, they're literally like in like universes to get myself into. And how I see it is I can't travel everywhere in the world. I can't go everywhere. I can't meet everyone. I can't try all the different foods and listen to all the different musics in the world. And I'm such a curious person. Like عندي لقافة ما هي طبيعية. I ask the craziest questions and the most random questions. So I always like knowing. And I feel like with books, I get to discover a lot of things and know a lot of things because they're literally universes authors create for you and describe for you. And I think the best authors are the ones who know how to express a feeling without you even going through that feeling or knowing what that feeling is, but you feel like you feel it because of how good the words are. So I think books for me are amazing because one day I can be living as a Parisian in Paris, which is literally my dream. One day I can be in Tokyo. One day I can be this. One day I can be that. So, like, I love books because they make you embedded in these different worlds, and that to me gives me so much creativity because when I'm in this different headspace, different from the actual world I'm living in. um I get inspired, and I take from different cultures, and I take from different styles, different people, different personalities, and just create something new with it. And of course, art books. Art books are genuinely, I have never opened one art book and was like, I didn't get something good out of this. Art books are insane. They have so much because they do mix of words, and then there's a mix of pictures, there's feelings, there's music, there's poetry, there's so much in art books that you can get inspired by. Um, and it's just, yeah, like for me, art books and books are kind of one of the main inspirations as to where I get um like ideas to create things. And I'm gonna tell you guys some of my favorite books that I read. um First of all, Just Kids by Patti Smith. I swear to God, I think I made this book my personality from how much I talk about it and post about it, but you don't understand how much this book like shaped me in my I'm still in my 20s, but shaped my 20s, and I think is going to continue shaping everything. Like, this book opened my eyes into how I see creativity and how I see expression. Um it's a autobiography. So Patti Smith basically talks about her life and how she made it, but it's such an interesting book also about unconditional love, about friendship, about yeah, just growing up, being a creative, and um your body and your soul and your life create like craving this creativity and craving to become whatever you imagine yourself being. I don't want to say too much about the book because I think genuinely everyone should read it, but that's all I have to say for now about this book, Insane. And then also The Artist's Way. This is like a guidebook or like a workshop book. I still didn't finish it, but from what I read so far or learned so far from this book, Insane. So it's basically for anyone who has a creative block, or not necessarily just a creative block, like even if you want to expand your creativity, you want to go outside of the box, because I know personally sometimes I'm so creative and I want to do things, but I'm so inside the box, and I maybe like do things that already have been done, and or do new things but in a way that already has been done. Like it's just repetitive, and I want to get myself out of that and think outside of the box and test my limits, test my knowledge. So I think this book is perfect to get out of your head and just do it. But I'm gonna tell you one lesson it taught me so far that I think is insane, and I take it with me every single week. So the book basically tells you to okay, two things actually. The first two things the book tells you. The first thing is to keep a journal with you, and every morning, I don't do this by the way, but when I used to do it, insane, I want to get back to it. But every morning you write 3 pages nonstop. Like you open your eyes, you just write 3 pages nonstop, about whatever literally goes in your brain. So when I used to do this, it's amazing because sometimes I would dream of things. I'm such a vivid dreamer, guys. Like I dream crazy things, but my dreams give me such good ideas, and sometimes when I don't write them down, as soon as I wake up I forget about it, and I'm like, oh my god, this would have been a perfect video, or this would have been a perfect, like I literally dream of such creative things. So when you wake up and you write all these things, it's basically your subconscious talking to you. So things that are deep, like hidden in your brain, they come out and you write about it and you do something with it. Like sometimes it would be about friendship, sometimes I'd write about like work ideas or things I want to create, or just thoughts I'm thinking about. Honestly amazing. And now every like few weeks I go back to that journal and I read it. I'm like, wow, like this is such a good like written piece, and I really want to go back to it, honestly. And another thing that really helped me is this book tells you every week you have to take yourself out on a date, just you yourself alone. Do whatever, go grocery shopping, go on a walk, go to the movies, go have lunch or dinner or breakfast or whatever. Just once a week, take yourself out on a date. Honestly, insane idea. I'm kind of an introvert but an extrovert. I'm an is it called ambivert? Omnivert? I don't know. Anyway, I'm in the middle. Okay, so I don't mind being alone. I don't mind going out alone. I actually love it. But I think there's always a shame behind it, and there's sometimes I go out alone and I feel embarrassed and I'm alone, especially when I travel, because I don't mind going out alone even when I travel. And sometimes I'm like, oh my god, these people are like all together, they're having dinner together, they're having lunch together, and I'm just alone. I love it, but there's shame behind it. And I think when I read this in the book, and in order to unlock this new level of creativity, you have to take yourself out on a date. I feel like the shame just evaporated and I just didn't care anymore. And I was like, you know what? I love doing this, and I do it for myself, and I do it to be more creative. Because think about it, like when you're alone, you listen to everything around you. If there's birds are chirping, you listen to it. If there's music, you listen to it, you shazam it, you're like, oh, what is this? If you're eating alone, you taste the food better. Guys, I know I'm very like, I romanticize things honestly in my head, but genuinely that's what you have to do to live a good life. Like, I 100% believe in that. And I feel I deepen things, but I love it because I feel things extra. And I don't mind it. I actually love that about me. So I think when I go out alone, I just honestly, I genuinely get goosebumps. Like, I meet new people, I talk to random people. Um, I just, it's just interesting. Like, for example, I went to Germany for 3 weeks, literally a couple of years ago, and I was completely alone. Guys, I swear to God, the people I've met, the artists I saw, the music I heard, I was completely alone. The books I read, the movies, like, genuinely life altering experience. So I highly, highly, highly recommend to anyone to do that. And I know a lot of people struggle with being alone, but I think part of growing up and adulting is pushing yourself to enjoy your own company, because at the end of the day, we come to this earth alone and we leave alone. There's no one backing you up, so you have to learn to like be with yourself, be with your thoughts, yeah, and enjoy your own company. Regarding art books, I didn't really write a favorite because, as I said, genuinely every art book I ever picked up in life gave me something. I love like everything, like music art books, or art books, or just photography, or in this, if you're watching the video, I have the Sofia Coppola one. I love it. It's just like behind the scenes of her movies. The one next to it is the one I made. It's called Ophelia. Guys, I love it so much, and I highly recommend for anyone to do their own art book. I did it in uni. It was part of our project, and I loved this project. I genuinely wish I can publish this book, but I think it's just way more complicated than I thought, but maybe one day. But this book is basically me. Like, I swear, if you want to understand me, or you want to like go inside my brain to see everything that's happening, and like the references I know, the music, the poetry, the books I like, the pictures I like, they're all just in this book. I adore it, honestly, and I highly recommend for everyone to do their own. It takes time, but it's so rewarding having your own book sitting in front of you every day. Okay, next we're gonna go to music. Music is energy, and I feel like when I'm in a certain energy or flow, I think thoughts come to me, ideas come to me, they flow to me. And you know this person like in the movies when they're like in the car, they have their head against the window and they're looking at like the world around them and they're listening to music. That's literally me every day. And I swear to you, that time is like أكتر وقت, like I get so much thoughts, so much creativity flowing in me. I direct music videos in my head. I direct campaigns. I just listen to music and I'm like, okay, so this is the music for this shoot, and this is what we're doing, and this is the cast, and this is what like the storyline. Amazing, and I hopefully one day I can actually execute. It's just my imagination runs wild, and I don't even know where the funds are gonna come from to actually execute this imagination. Anywho, music just helps me get so much creative concept in my head. And like a lot of fashion designers create their whole collections around a certain certain musics, and I feel like music holds so much culture, and that's where I get inspired from. The sounds it makes. And I'm not talking about this radio music or like music that's done for the radio, no shade, but like Taylor Swift, sorry to all Swifties. I feel like that's music done for the radio to get awards and just to get hit, like to get engagement and stuff. I'm not talking about that. Like, I'm talking about the music that's so well done. Like, they're 6 minutes long, 10 minutes long. It's art. They mix so many different sounds and so many different feelings. They create literally a piece of artwork. And especially music from the 60s, 70s, also 80s, also 90s. I love music, especially from the 70s, because I think that era was really good music wise, honestly, everything wise, even fashion. art, everything. But because in the 60s, late 60s, there was a lot of war happening, so everyone was fed up. There was the hippie movement. So I think in order to escape the reality they were living in, the hell they were living in, everyone needed their own escape. So I think they went into a lot of arts, a lot of music and fashion and photography and cinema. And that's why I think a lot of the best work was made in the 70s. And that's why music wise, I love the 70s. Like, think Led Zeppelin, ABBA with disco, Fleetwood Mac. Obviously, I adore Fleetwood Mac. Everything was insane from them. I love hearing Spanish and Mexican music. I feel like they mix so much actual, like, real life sounds, like the clapping, like so much things are happening, and how they blend together creates such an interesting song. Like, think about it fashion wise. If you put a basic outfit and then you put more layers, you put a jacket, you put accessories, you put a cool hat, you put a cool glasses, you keep adding layers to the outfit, it creates such an interesting look. That's how I think about it with like Spanish and Mexican music. They keep adding and adding and adding, and every time it just makes more sense. And I remember in Madrid, I went to a flamenco show. Highly recommend. I was sobbing the whole time like a lunatic. And I do these things sometimes where I go and watch beautiful things and I just cry because it's so cool. It was the coolest experience. It was such an intimate show. And flamenco, basically, like, oh my god, the fashion, first of all, so good. How the clothes support the dance, and how the dance supports the clothes, and how their movements, how everyone is supporting one another by clapping. So they create these sounds by clapping, and obviously they clap with their hands. Also, they create noises with their feet. It's just such, and with their mouths. Ugh, insane. Such a good show. So highly Spanish and Mexican music. Also, Amapiano. Amapiano is South African music genre, blends so many different sounds together. It has like jazz, it has house. It's just so many things together. And I think similar to Spanish and Mexican sounds, Amapiano is kind of the same, where they blend a lot of different sounds. There's a lot of whistling, a lot of like, it's very, very interesting to me. And they all have kind of different sounds, but every song is different. Like, you automatically know, okay, this is Amapiano, but like every song has its own unique thing. And I think to me that's very interesting. It gives me so much like inspiration, and wow, this is like, I want to learn it and I want to study it, and how do they do this, and how do they mix sounds, and how do they create this. Very, very interesting. Highly recommend for you to hear them. Also, obviously, music videos, you have to watch them. Guys, I love a lot, but House of the Rising Sun, I think it was in the 60s. That music, like, for me, this is art direction, and it's very simple. There's not much going on, but just their composition and how they move, and it was made in the 60s, and the vibe, and the amazing. Also, A$AP Rocky obviously has one of the craziest music videos, and he just dropped, I think, 3 new music videos. Also, see the audio visual, super creative. He basically did, you know how you wear the VR set and you, like, when you look around the room you see actual things? He did kind of the same concept, but you don't even have to like wear anything. It's just through YouTube, when you move your phone, you see different like audio visuals. Super creative. Like, why did no one think about this? Amazing. But music recommendations, some of my favorites are I'm So Afraid by Fleetwood Mac, the remastered version, the 2002 remastered version. This is an actual masterpiece. I adore it. And these are the songs I always go back to when I'm feeling down or depressed and I just want to like dissociate from life. Always go back to this music. Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, but I love the Miley Cyrus version, specifically her voice, crazy. Mad About You by Hooverphonic, but the 2012 live version, insane, because the actual one I don't really like. This is my ultimate, I think, favorite. What Makes a Good Man by The Heavy. The drums, just listen to the drums. Also, I love a lot of Led Zeppelin, but there's like too many to choose from. But the ones I mentioned are my top favorites. And I swear to you, like every time I listen to them, I get creative visions. Like that's a Raven vibe. Like I get creative visions. Um, and I'm not saying that you guys should love my music, but I think go deep into it. Find your genre. Find what you love. Find things that feed your soul. Things that literally give you goosebumps when you're listening to it as a creative. Things that help you create, things that you know that if you put on the background whenever you're creating something, it's gonna just feed you more and make you do more. um and also Spanish and like Mexican vibe. Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood by Santa Esmeralda. Insane song. I first heard it in Kill Bill. Amazing soundtrack also, Kill Bill, insane. But yeah, listen to it. Amazing. Okay, now we go to movies. So movies also same as books. I think they create so many worlds you get to live in. And I think with books you kind of just use your imagination, but with movies you can actually see um and visualize it more. And I think movies are insane because they blend so many different arts together. Like there's storytelling, and there is an art to storytelling. It doesn't come easy. So there's storytelling, there's music, there's fashion, set design, the cinematography. And with movies, I think sometimes it doesn't have to be entertaining. Sometimes it doesn't have a plot. Sometimes it's boring. But the art direction, you look at it to see the colors, the color grading, the editing, the direction, the soundtrack. Like you have to look at movies in a different light to see the art of it instead of just being entertained. Um, and obviously there's always a time and place for things. Sometimes I want to watch movies to be entertained, but sometimes, and most of the times, I watch them to study them. um and I think you can take so much from them. Also, Vogue World this year, a lot of people didn't like it. They thought that it was basic, but to me, I loved it because Vogue World this year was done in LA, and it was done as if it was like a movie set. And a lot of models and actresses and celebrities were walking this runway, and they were wearing costume designs of different movies. And to me, that was so interesting. And imagine how insane you have to be, how good you have to be to create something that's so iconic for years and years and years to come. And movies that were done in the 60s and the 70s, I would just look at the model wearing the costume. I'd be like, oh my God, this is this movie. Oh my God, this is that. And this is that. And how iconic do you have to be to make me, a person who wasn't even born in the 60s, a person who's literally 25 years old, 24, turning 25 soon, but a person who was not born in the 60s, to know the movie you did in the 60s, and to know that this is the costume that came from this movie and this is the soundtrack that came from this movie. Insane work. Like, this is a legacy. Yani, this is amazing. I don't know. It's just so good. So let me tell you my favorites. Number one, The Godfather. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely a masterpiece. If you did not watch it, close this video now, watch it, and then come back. Amazing. Guys, so I've always known The Godfather was crazy, and I've always known I have to watch it, but I knew it was about the mafia. I was like, of course there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of killing, and I hate watching blood and killing. And like, I'm such a visual person, and I can't forget these visuals. So I have not watched it for the longest time, and this year I was like khalas, you have to. It's part of this creative journey to just watch The Godfather, and I regret not watching it sooner. It's not as graphic as I thought, number one. And all the series is a masterpiece. Like Godfather 1, 2, and 3, they're all crazy, but I loved Godfather 2 the most because the storytelling for me was so good, and the actors, the music. Also, I love Kill Bill. However, Kill Bill is very graphic, is insanely graphic. I didn't even finish Kill Bill 2, but I'm gonna finish it because it just got too much for me. But I really want to finish it, and I think I want to rewatch it because half of the time I was covering my eyes from how graphic it is. But the fashion, no, I can't. I think I even trying to describe it is gonna do the movie injustice because it's just so good that I don't even know how to like describe how good it is. But you just have to go watch it for yourself. Also, a recent movie I watched, El Sit, for Kulthum. It's basically about her life, but I loved it, and I loved that the director was Egyptian, so representing the Arab world. I loved it. It was very long. It was like 3 hours, but I was not bored at all. It told you everything about her life from the minute she was born to like when she died. Insane. And I love documentaries or movies that show you the whole entire storyline, because usually when they don't, I finish the movie and I chat GPT everything about this person's life. And I just love that the movie just gave me everything. Also, Kulthum, honestly, I didn't like, I know her game, but I didn't know it was that good. She's iconic, and now I get why she's that iconic. Until now, people listen to her music. Like, really, what a woman. You have to watch the movie. And I really think this is one of the movies that's going to stand the test of time and is going to be iconic for generations to come. Also, last recommendation is The Parasite. I watched it first when it dropped. I think that movie kind of pushed me into loving cinematography. I think before that movie I was just watching movies for entertainment, but after watching The Parasite and seeing the storytelling and seeing what a director can do and what a cast can do, actually, not just the director, the writer, the actors, everything, what they can accomplish together, amazing. And next, nature is very, very, very important, and I think everything we have in this world today, everything that exists, is coming from nature. Everything came from nature. Every inspiration that ever came before us came from nature, because that's all we have in the world and that's all we can take from aslan to create. Why not go back to the source, honestly, instead of just, I love books and movies and everything I've said before. Nature, obviously I love them, but like, go to the source. First of all, go to nature. I love taking walks by the beach, listening to the waves, looking at the colors of the waves, looking at the birds, just hearing the birds, being in the water, hiking, everything just gives me so much to work with. It rejuvenates me. I just come back home and I'm like, okay, I'm ready now. Like, I'm ready to do everything that's stuck in my head that I am afraid to execute, or I'm afraid to do, or I don't even know where to begin to do. Nature just gives me that, and I'm like, okay, let's go. And I think just observing, with everything I've already mentioned and with everything still I'm gonna mention, observation is the key thing to keep in mind through everything. Because when you're reading a book, if you're reading a book and you're not observing, or you're not actually, you're just reading blindly, you're not gonna ever get it fully. If you're watching a movie and you're not observing the movie properly, you're not gonna get it. If you're out alone, you're taking yourself out on a date and you're just on your phone, you're not observing the world around you, you're not getting it, you're not feeding yourself or your soul. You have to observe. So I think with nature, very, very important to take a walk and observe what's happening around you, the people walking, what they're dressed in, what are they listening to, what are they eating. And I think you just have to stay silent. Just don't be on your phone. Don't give yourself so much dopamine rush. Relax, be silent, listen to the world around you, observe, staying present, slow down your breath, clear your mind. And something I implemented every day now is yoga, because I think it gives me the same feeling I get when I'm walking in nature. Obviously, it doesn't substitute, but it does help. Yoga is amazing because it also slows down your breath, clears your mind, and just you have to be present. You do everything super slowly. And I think as soon as I finish yoga, I'm like, I am ready to start my day, and I have a clear mind, and I'm just very, very present. Art galleries slash museums, again, same as books, same as movies, you get to live so many different worlds. You see so much history, so much culture with the art, with the strokes, with every era having their own different art, different techniques, different skills, different textures, different materials, designs. Every artwork gives you a different feeling. Some is romance, sometimes you see war in art, sometimes you see architecture. Very interesting. Like when I was in Milan is very tiny, and you kind of memorize it super easily. You know the streets by name. Very, very easy place to live in. And I went to this art gallery that showed Milan before, like the 1910s, or even before that, 18th century, 17th century, like a long, long time ago. I would just see the same street as my house. Like I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is the same street as my house. And I don't think I would have seen that if I didn't go to an art gallery, and this specific art gallery, and like the shop area, Via Monte Napoleone, all the brands are there. And I would see like in this art gallery, like what Via Monte Napoleone was before in the 18th, 17th century. And it's just super cool to see the difference and see, okay, this was once the world they were living in, and this is now my world and my reality. Just very cool, honestly, to see. And that's just one example as to what you can learn from art galleries. Also seeing Picasso or Monet and seeing their techniques and seeing how they held the brush and the stories behind every painting and the colors they used and why they used this color. Super, super cool for me. And to me, you don't have to be in the industry to be curious. Like, I'm not a painter. I don't have to see Picasso's work. I don't have to see Monet's work. I'm not a painter. I'm not going to use this. And I don't see myself paint. Like, maybe actually, why not? I wish. But I think how I take that is I take that into my work. If I'm directing something, if I'm redecorating my room, or I'm building my outfit and I want to do something creative with it, I can take their techniques and their colors and do something with it. So you don't have to be a painter to learn about Picasso or Monet or any other painter. You don't have to be a stylist to appreciate, or a fashion person to appreciate a fashion show, or clothes in general. Like, you can just look at these things from afar and appreciate them and learn whatever you need to learn from them. Okay, last thing, most important thing to me, especially as a young person, but obviously take that in every single age: traveling. Traveling is moving. You move. And being stagnant and just being in one place, you see the same thing over and over and over again. If you're stuck in your hometown, or you're stuck in your room and you see the same people, you eat the same food, you listen to the same music, how are you ever gonna grow? How? Like, you have to travel, you have to see different people talking, you have to hear different languages, eat different foods, listen to different music, touch different fabrics, see different art galleries, see different books, different views, different cafes, different movie theaters. You have to go outside and see the world and see how people are living, how different cultures are living. You gain so much of it. And I truly think one of the best qualities in any person is being worldly and traveling, because that's when you're open to new people, and it just shows that you're not judgmental, you're not stuck in your own ways. You're open to see different perspectives, different point of views, different ways of how people live, and you just gain so much from these different cultures and attitudes and moves and dances and languages. And even going out and traveling with your friends and laughing just gives you so much happiness and growth and so much for your own creative journey. And if you are able to live somewhere for 3 months, even 6 months, a year, however long you can, I genuinely urge you to do it. I urge you so much to do it, even if it was for a month. I learned so much from living abroad. You do not understand. I would not have been the same person if I was stuck in my hometown. I would not, this podcast wouldn't even exist if I was still living in the same place I was born in. And I'm back to the same place I was born in, but I'm so super grateful for having the ability to live abroad and to see things. And it doesn't have to be the most luxurious place ever. You don't have to pay so much. You don't have to live for a year. Genuinely, go for a month, go for a week. Even if you go for a week, try to go for a week and leave your phone. Like, if you only have a week to spare in your life to go somewhere, truly, at least be present. Leave everything and go and like meet people from the country, dress how they dress, see how they dress, eat their food, listen to their music, dance to their music. Genuinely, I swear to you, I would not be the same person. Even if you don't have the budget for it now, you don't have the means for it now, save up to travel. It's super important. Honestly, I didn't know the importance of traveling before living abroad. I used to travel just to have fun, or travel in a summer vacation, or to see my friends or whatever. But after studying abroad, I was like, okay, I get it. I get why all these creative people are so obsessed with traveling. I did not get it before. I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, stay in one place for a minute. Why do you keep jumping from place to place to place to place? I didn't get it, but now I got it, because when I lived abroad, I had the opportunity to take the train and go to places near Milan and stay there for a weekend, or even go for a day and come back. And even if it's not like a big city, it was just like a town next to us or whatever, just go to the beach next to us, it still fed me so much things. And I was like, okay, now I get it. Like, you don't understand. As soon as I came back from Milan, everything happened for me. I created my calendar in a month. I literally did it and printed it and started selling it in a month. Okay, my podcast, as soon as I came back from Milan, I did the shoot for it. I did the whole idea for it. And I'm not gonna say it's perfect, and then, until now, there's still things I want to improve and I have to improve, but it gave me so much to work with and to start with. And it's a journey, and I'm not gonna say that whatever you do creatively is going to be perfect. When you get all these references, when you read so many books, nothing is perfect, and nothing will start off perfectly. But as soon as you start, and as soon as you give yourself inspiration and creativity and be in that flow, and you start something, at least you can learn from your mistakes and take it and build from it and do insane things from it. And every time you do it better, and you improve things, and eventually you're gonna find yourself somewhere super 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 far away from where you started, and you're gonna look back and be like, oh my god, I can't believe I did all of this and I accomplished all of this. And I truly believe that these things that I mentioned today are really here to guide us and to help us to create and to do and to flourish and to feed ourselves and our minds and our souls. Anywho, I was just rambling, but these are just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts, and let me know what inspires you, and we can learn from each other. Maybe I can take tips and tricks from all of you guys as well, and get more inspiration from whatever inspires you. Give me music recommendations, give me movie recommendations, anything that fed your soul. I would love to hear, I would love to listen, I would love to watch. Also, guys, if you have any questions, I'm starting to get a couple of questions on Instagram or TikTok about why do I choose these topics, or different questions. So if you guys have any questions, ask it, and maybe one time I would do an episode to answer all these questions. So yeah, anywho, love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.